Welcome to the PLZ Soccer Show. I'm Peter Martin. Alan Ruff is alongside me. Semi-finals dominate our chat. First of all, the Champions League semi-final. The draw was made earlier today, and it's Liverpool against Roma, Bayern Munich against Real Madrid. For me, Ruffy, what a fabulous tie, and it's the one that Liverpool wanted.
Yeah, I would say so. I think obviously Bayern and Real Madrid for me are the two other top sides. Obviously Roma had that fantastic result in the last round, but I think Liverpool will be happy with the Roma tie. Obviously they played in the final, I think it was in '84. When there was a draw, and then the Bruce Grobbelaar antics on the goal line for the penalty kick shootout. It was good to watch, and you know, I think both teams play really exciting football, so I think it'll be a good tie.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great memory of that game, going back all those years. Hard to believe now, Liverpool going for their 6th European Cup. Amazing. Listen, I said it's the tie they wanted. It's not necessarily going to be easy for them, because as Roma proved, they've got the belief, they've got players that can cause Liverpool problem. I'm talking, of course, about Edin Dzeko, who I thought was magnificent against Barcelona.
Yeah, but I think he was a handful in both of the legs. The two centre-halves couldn't deal with him at all. His physicality was there for everyone to see. But I think Liverpool will be encouraged by the first leg score. And I know that the second leg was the one that mattered, but I didn't think they looked too impressive in the first leg.
It's ironic though, Mo Salah had to be sold from Roma to Liverpool. They got a bargain. I think the Roma fans will be wondering, is he going to come back to haunt us?
Well, in the form he's on just now, who's to say he isn't? You know, I think he's up about, is it 37 goals?
39.
39 goals. Yeah. Fantastic, and he'll obviously somebody that Roma will have to watch. But I think of the two games, I think that'll be the most exciting one.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going for Liverpool to win over the two legs.
Yeah, I'm hoping Liverpool win. I think it'll bring back great memories to the Liverpool supporters.
Yep, absolutely. And still haven't won the league, but they've won a European Cup during that time as well. It's incredible. What about the other tie, Bayern Munich against Real Madrid? I mean, I think it's 11 wins apiece. Ruffy, but the key issue here is the last time that Bayern Munich came up against Real Madrid in the quarterfinals last season, in the end it was 6-3 over the two legs. Yeah,
and it was interesting the other night when I was listening to the highlights of the game, and I think somebody was talking about the Bayern team, and they were saying that this Bayern team, man for man, hasn't moved much in the last 5 years.
No.
You know, the two centre-halves have been there for a long while. Ribery, obviously Robin, Lewandowski's there. Thiago. They all seem to be a settled side, and that could be a good thing when the chips are down. But obviously they're coming up against Ronaldo. But I think again the evidence is there if you can get at their defence. And I think Bayern will, with the two wide players and obviously their striker. So again, that could be a high-scoring game.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gled you mentioned Ronaldo. Do you think Zidane will pick 10 other players to help him?
Yeah, but I mean, Modric for me is a big player. Modric for me is a big player in that team as well. But again, I just think defensively, I know Ramos is going to come back, but I thought they looked poor in defence.
Yeah. Okay, let me ask you this, Ruffy. Arsenal against Atletico in the Europa League. Is there a chance for the Gunners to win the Europa League and get into the Champions League? It would just be like Arsene Wenger after all the pelters he's been taking. Yeah,
we've been saying, or I've been saying, you know, if there's a way for any manager to leave, particularly him, it would be the end of a cup win, you know, and he's served them so well over the years. It would be an ideal situation for them to move, but I think they've got a tough one in this one. Obviously Atletico been to a Champions League final. Not the most attractive team. They tend to not lose goals rather than score them, but obviously with their striker up front, he's going to be a handful as well.
Yeah, and Salzburg against Marseille. Did you see Dimitri Payet's goal in midweek, Ruffy?
Yes,
it was sensational, outside of the boot. What a wonderful player.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing, you know, and when we get to the quality of these games, Europa Cup semi-finals, it's always something special that wins them, and I think that's what makes it more exciting than everything else.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the Europa League, I have to be honest with you. It really takes till about the quarterfinals before I actually remotely become interested. I'm sorry, Ruffy.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think there's far too many teams early on that don't come up with the goods, but certainly when we get down to this stage, they certainly do.
Okay, Scottish Cup semi-final weekend. Motherwell against Aberdeen is the first one. It's not a sellout. Should we be expecting more from both sets of supporters?
Yeah, I would have thought there would have been more Motherwell supporters at the game. I remember the Motherwell Rangers game, and it was at least twice as much as what's going this weekend. So that might be a bit disappointing, but they'll go there and they'll enjoy the day out. But you're right, we don't like to see half-empty stadiums. It doesn't send out the right message across the world.
Yeah. Okay, so Motherwell against Aberdeen. We'll be talking all week about the fact that Aberdeen are down by 3 good players, Shinnie, Logan, McLean. Does that balance it out now? And do Motherwell have that sense of, listen, this is a shot to nothing, everybody expects Aberdeen, we can go and have a right go?
Yeah, I mean, I know Derek McInnes in his presser was saying, you know, we'll get quality to come in and replace these 3, but that quality he's talking about haven't been playing all year, you know, because these 3 guys are in the 11 week in, week out, particularly Shinnie. And I know Logan, I mean, he's a fullback, but he creates a lot of chances and scores goals as well. So I think there's 3 massive players. I would like to know who his 3 players are that are coming in to take over for them. And then I can maybe make up my mind, because I don't think there's any ready-made replacements in there.
Yeah, well, I have to say, I'm looking at the guys who potentially could score goals for them. You know, Christie can chip in with goals. I'm not so sure about Mackay-Steven. Rooney has to be the man that has to come up, step up to the plate if there's going to be a match winner. But on the other side, I think it's unkind, unfair to suggest that they're a physical team. Yes, it's a part of them, but I think Motherwell play good football. And although the boy Curtis Main scores goals.
Yep, you certainly do. And I think latter third, I think people are doing them a disservice, because when they get into the last third, they know how to play that style of football. Quick balls into the box, on the deck, in the air. You know, they've got 2 guys up there who are prepared to put themselves through a brick wall, and that could be a handful for Aberdeen, because I think that will be Motherwell's best chance of scoring goals, maybe free kicks, corners. Yeah,
I'm going to have to come up with a prediction now, Ruffy, and I'm looking at it and I'm thinking to myself, I'm swaying just by the odd goal to Aberdeen. I've been chopping and changing all week on this, but I think, you know, I think I'm going to sway to Aberdeen. I agree with you, maybe after extra time.
Yep, I'm going to go the whole hog in this one as well. I think it'll be back and forward. I think there will be goals as well. You know, I think it'll go into extra time, but I just feel Aberdeen possibly have more on the bench to win it in extra time. I think Rooney might be that guy who's on the bench. He'll come on when it opens up a wee bit. And Rooney will be my man to score the winner, I think.
Yeah, okay, we'll find out. We'll look back on this programme and think, oh, what a visionary Ruffy is, or what an Egypt. Anyway, the other semi-final, I cannot wait. I'm really looking forward to it. Let's hope it's a showpiece that lives up sometimes to the hype of this one. I'm sure a lot of people from all over the globe will cast their eye on this, obviously for the strange value of the rivalry that goes on between the 2 of them. So this is a showdown for a chance to get a place in the final between Celtic and Rangers. Brendan Rodgers, speaking earlier today, mentioned that they'll show Rangers respect, but of course they're ready to play against Rangers and the players that all cheered when this draw came out.
Yeah, obviously that's in the back of his mind. You know, I don't think it'll affect the game tomorrow. They've already had a game before that. You know, so what you've got to make up your mind, is this a Celtic team stumbling towards a league championship, or are they just, you know, maybe coming at the end of the season, not massive games, and are they going to step up to the plate as they usually do when the big game comes along? And everybody's waiting to see if that is the case. And the Rangers camp, I'm sure that they will think, on the basis of the last game, you can pick anything out of that game, but they will believe if Morales had scored that goal, it was 3 each. So they'll be getting into the game thinking they have a chance. And I think this game will go the whole hog as well. I think it will go to extra time. But when it gets to extra time, as we saw it with Rodgick in the last one with Aberdeen when he came up with a goal at the end, I think Celtic have got the players more match winners when it gets to the crunch than what Rangers have.
Yeah, Stuart Armstrong, a slight doubt with a calf problem, but he'll assess that over the next 24 hours. As far as Rangers are concerned, you know, Ross McCrory, available. Josh Windass, available. David Bates, what about that? That came out of left field. He's agreed a 4-year deal at Hamburg. Rangers just couldn't match his wages. He's going to move on to something like, what, £7,500 a week?
Well, it certainly sends out the wrong signals from what Dave King's talking about earlier on in the week, that they're going to build from within with young players, and C certainly is the young player of the year for me in Rangers. I think he was a big part of when he went off in that last Rangers-Celtic game. I thought Rangers looked more vulnerable when he went off, so I certainly think he was a player for the future. And if they can't afford to pay him the money, then it's troubled times behind in the financial stakes.
Yeah, well, there's no doubt. I think every Rangers fan's aware that season ticket money is so crucial to this whole campaign. Whether they get additional money in other revenues from other areas, could be a new shirt deal, then only time will tell. It'll be interesting to see what they do in the summer. We've already discussed the fact that we don't think Graham Murty will get the job beyond the summer, whether they win the Scottish Cup or not. I don't think so. Graham Murty came out today and said that he doesn't feel as if the chairman, Dave King, undermined him by that statement in midweek. I'm not so sure. I think he's, in the end, I think he's just taken the rug from underneath his feet with regards to any hope of becoming the man that has to try and stop Celtic winning 10 in a row.
Yeah, I think if Graham Murty was going to be there next year, Dave King would have come out and given him some kind of support with this big game that's coming up at the weekend. He could have come out saying, look, when we put him in that position, we asked him to get second in the league, we asked him to get into Europe, we asked him possibly to win a cup. If he does something like that, then he's a contender. Yeah. And left it at that, but there was nothing positive out of that Dave King interview at all. Okay
then, I think Celtic will win it within regulation time, Ruffy.
Quite possibly, I'm going to go for extra time and a Celtic goal in extra time to win the game.
Okay, what, 1-0?
2-1.
2-1 in the end, okay. You can give us your view at PLZ Soccer on Twitter, facebook.com/PLZ Soccer. Also on our YouTube channel if you want all the latest information. England, Scotland, it's on a daily basis. You can read all the stories from across the globe and European football as well. You'll get reaction to the Champions League semi-final draw as well. And if you want it to your hand, download the app PLZ Soccer on the app in the App Store and on Google Play as well. Good luck with that. From Alan Ruff and myself, Peter Martin, thanks for watching.